Welcome to today's Marketplace. I'm Jane King, and today we are joined by Joe Davey, the founder and CEO of Banzai, and Dr. Tim McMahon from the Heider College of Business at Creighton University. So welcome, great to have you both here.
Yeah, thanks,
Nice to be here.
Dr. McMahon, so you're currently writing a book
Yes, I
on
am.
the use of AI in marketing.
Yes.
So you must be doing a lot of research. What are
A lot
you
of research.
discovering and finding out from businesses?
It's amazing. When I first started proposing the book, it was going to be purely about MarTech, marketing technology. And AI was emerging. They finally unleashed it from the lab and put it onto the rest of us, that we could actually understand it and cope with it. So yes, and one of the more interesting things I did just a month or so ago, I was in India doing a case study on a pharma company, SME pharma company. And what I learned there about how they're putting it to use was pretty amazing. That's really where I think a lot of this works. It works for smaller companies that haven't had the budget, haven't been able to do those sorts of things. So also talk to some folks in business that have used it for all kinds of marketing tools, like doing pro formas and those sorts of things, understanding new product innovation.
Yeah, and I'm sure that every company has to market in some form, and as you mentioned, some of these smaller companies may benefit the most. So AI has made this marketing more affordable?
Yeah, the whole thing about marketing is to actually understand the consumer and the journey that they take toward becoming aware of your product, and then actually making some choices, and then making the conversion to buying a product. And those first three steps have been very difficult for a lot of smaller companies that don't have the money. But now they actually can simulate a lot of things. I have a friend that's actually simulated focus groups. Which is very unusual. Nobody's involved. No human beings are involved. But because of the way that AI works with large language models and actually being trained, then you can get some pretty reliable data. Very reliable data. They've actually launched new products without any cost to the focus group. It used to be, I did thousands of them, I think, and it was thousands and thousands of dollars. And now it's cut the time down, cut the money down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and Joe, your company, Banzai, is applying AI tools to the marketplace.
Yeah, that's right.
From what I understand, the work from home impact of the pandemic was a springboard for Banzai.
Well,
explain that.
It definitely was in many ways. I think work from home shifted a lot of people's attitude about collaboration and about how they get work done. And so I think going back to the point that you just made, you see a lot of smaller businesses trying to get new capabilities, things that they've always wanted to do but never had the resources to do or never had the ability to do. And then you see a lot of larger companies actually have the same kind of challenges, just at a different scale, maybe in a different way. So, we have 140,000 customers. Obviously, they can't all be Fortune 500 companies, so the majority of them are small businesses. Many of them might be solopreneurs that are collaborating with clients, or they're trying to, be more efficient in the way that they use time. Some of them may be large enterprises that are trying to, improve their workflows or improve their data analysis or things like that. So it really depends, but I think work from home, for us, we saw a lot of people start to move towards digital communication and start to move towards more efficiency across, kind of all their workflows. And so we started just taking on more of those workflows and trying to help our customers find better solutions for those problems.
So would you say from a labor perspective that smaller companies benefit the most from AI?
It's an interesting question. I would say smaller companies probably, going from 0 to 1 is a huge step function shift for a lot of small companies. So I think they probably feel the impact the most. In terms of, who benefits the most on an aggregate basis, it's probably big enterprises that are going to be able to say, yeah, I'm getting a 10% or a 20% efficiency improvement, or maybe I can do this new workflow I could never do before, but I can do it at a huge scale. And so I think what we're going to see over the next few years is, the larger the company is, the more inertia it has. So they're going to be the laggards in adoption in a lot of cases. Small businesses, especially, solopreneurs, 10-person, 20-person marketing teams, do adopt things faster generally, and already have adopted a lot. But I think we're going to see enterprises probably start to pick up over the next, 2 to 5 years and really, start to accelerate what they're doing.
And are these AI tools designed to apply to specific vertical markets?
That's a great question. The way that we look at it within our own business, is we have a variety of verticals that we try to serve really, really well. So we try to be, the best provider in the banking, financial services, insurance market, for example. And we have a lot of customers in that segment. The fintech and technology market is very big for us. The healthcare market is very big for us. So I think all of those customers have different needs. And they all have kind of different places that they're at in terms of their adoption of technology, their adoption of AI. And so, all of them ultimately will need different kind of use cases, different kind of solutions, and so we think about that a lot in our product design and development.
Dr. McMahon, from your research, what are companies telling you about the capabilities that AI provides to generate their marketing efforts?
Well, Jane, one of the things that's really amazing is if you go back 13 years, there were about 150 applications or tools to use in the area of MarTech, for example. Today, there's 14,106. That's a 4,000% improvement. So what the biggest challenge for companies large and small, as Joe mentioned, is how do you select the stack? How do you put the stack together so that it's not one piece is actually coordinating with another, there's no silos? So I think that's one of the greatest concerns that both big companies and small companies have, is that they don't want to be redundant. At the same time, they don't want to lose that ability to cross various functions, and really ask them to talk together so that they come up with a better answer for the consumer. Most everybody's concerned about the consumer. You mentioned that large companies have more budget. I ran marketing for a $26 billion company. I didn't have enough money.
Exactly.
That's always the case. So you're always looking for the most efficiency that you can possibly find.
Okay. And Joe, for students that maybe are graduating in the next couple of years, what kind of advice would you give them to prepare them for an AI economy and an entry-level position in that economy?
I think one interesting thing about AI is how much it's reduced the barrier to being able to build software. Okay, so I think, when I was coming out of school, if you wanted to build a software company or even just a software application, you had to have years of knowledge personally. You had to have a big team of people. You had to have millions of dollars to go build data centers and do all this stuff. And, today, really anybody with, an AI kind of co-pilot can go build a simple application in a couple of days, as long as you kind of know how that works. I think that's going to be a huge advantage for people coming into the workforce. If you can come into the workforce in whatever field, communications, finance, healthcare, anything, but you can say, I can solve problems here by, bringing technology to bear, maybe even in very, very simple ways. If you have that sophistication and knowledge, doesn't mean you have to be a computer science major, and actually I don't think most people probably should be computer science majors. If you're in marketing, if you're going to be a marketing major, though, you should at least be, sophisticated enough when you come out of school to be able to go build simple pieces of software to go, improve your own personal efficiency and the efficiency of your company. I think we're going to see a huge proliferation of software that gets built, in-house or, very, very customized, specialized solutions coming out. So, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. This has been so informative. Thank you, Joe and Dr. McMahon, for joining me today.
Thank you
so
very
much,
much,
Jane.
Jane. Appreciate being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.